Good evening. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining me tonight. I am Julie with Creations by Julie. I go live every Tuesday and Friday night at 6:30. And my goal is to show you affordable things that you can do for home decor. Last week we did the essentials.
Brenda said hi.
Hi Brenda. We did the essential stencil. It's kind of hard, tongue tied sometimes. But I put the link at the top of this video if you want to check out the things that they sell. I am not an ambassador with them. I do not get anything for what you buy. I just searched and discovered, after trying several different stencils from different places, I love these. And they have such a variety. Last week we did the little tags, if you remember. They sell the tags also. Now they don't sell a whole lot of other surfaces like Magnolia Designs does, but they do sell the tags. And they have these set of 3 tag stencils. This one is the Easter one. You want to look over there on my tier tray? I never get everything I need. It's in the back, I believe. The one that we did last week in purple. It's got a cross on it. Okay, this is what we did last week, and I just put a whitewash on it. I did this side, and I have not put a tag or beads or anything on it yet. I just stuck it on my 3-tier tray. So we did, I need to do this. I'd be a lot more comfortable doing it like that. So we did Amazing Grace on one side, and then we did the cross and Jesus on the other. So it's this stencil pack. It also has one that says He is Risen. And it's the stencil pack that I'm going to gift to someone on Tuesday. And that's the gift for this week. You'll get a tag. You'll get one of your pick of one of these 3 stencils, and you'll also get a small brand new stencil brush. So all you would have to do is go out and get you some acrylic paint, and you can paint these tags. You can do whatever you want to with them. Stain them. Okay, but it's going to be like Tuesday night and tonight. So the mystery word is tag. So what you need to do to be eligible for the gift that I'm giving for this week is put the mystery word in here after you have gone to your site and put this video on your page for your friends to see it. The purpose of that is I'm trying to grow my page. The more followers, the more y'all comment on my lives and on my posts that I do, the more people Facebook will show it to, because it's like, oh, well, okay, this is an active site, and they'll show it to more people. I think I have a little over 6,000 followers, but probably less than 100 people see my post pop up. And like those that are following me, if they never comment, and they never visit, and they never do anything, then Facebook just assumes you're not interested anymore, and so you won't see them come up. So what I am asking you to do is to help me get out to more people. You have friends that I'm not friends with, and just get them back to my page. And it just helps. The more you comment, any little hearts and thumbs up and stuff you give throughout the live helps. But to be eligible for and I like to give a gift every week. We started out, I was doing 2 a week. Last week and this week, we're just doing 1 because it's a larger gift. It's not something from the Dollar Tree. But, so anyway, I will draw. You have until Tuesday to SHARE, push that little button down there and put it on your page, or any groups that you're in that allow it, or whatever. Then you come back to this video and you put in the word tag. That tells me that you put it on your page. Facebook doesn't always tell me. Sometimes it'll tell me that so many people shared, and then I don't see but 2 or 3 names. So I constantly go back and look down the names and catch those that say the mystery word. Every week it's something different. So anyway, that's what I need you to do. You can do it as many times as you want to. Have your name in our basket. Actually, it was a bowl last week, so it'll probably be a bowl on Tuesday also. And then I will draw on Tuesday, and we'll start all over next week with something different. So anyway, any questions about that? Last week I showed you the tag and some smaller, I think they were 6x6 maybe, 5x5, some smaller stencils. Tonight I want to show you some of the larger things that they offer. And if you're a person that really enjoys doing the porch leaners and things like that, you really need to look into Essential Stencils and what they have to offer. If you get dizzy, you might want to look away. Ed's going to move the camera just a little bit because I want you to see this sign. I can't get a board on the table and do all that here. So I just want, this is an example of one of their porch signs. Now, it comes with a wreath, or the outline of a wreath, and a paw print that you can exchange the O for. This is a transfer that I put on there, so that doesn't come with it, but that's one of their sets. Now they have several sets. They have one for every season. If you just want, they got one that says, baby, it's cold outside. They've got one for Halloween, they've got one for autumn, they've got one for fall, they have one for Easter, it says he is risen. They've got a lot of different, and they call them vertical porch signs. Also,
Brenda says beautiful.
thanks Brenda. And they come, if you just, this one says home sweet home, and it's got the paw print, and it's like home sweet home, and this would be the set that you would want for that. And what?
She also said she loved it.
Also said what?
She loved the dish towel and color.
Oh, I'm glad you did, Brenda. You're more than welcome for that. Brenda won the gift from me week before last. Last week was the ring board. But now you can buy them in a set like this that just comes with these letters. The great thing about that is, you can tell from the length here, there's two letters together. So it helps you. You have the H and the O is together, and the M and the E is together, and if you're not real good at centering or spacing your letters, and it just makes it super simple. The size board, this is what supposed to be 10 inches wide, but it's like 9.5. I mean, that's what you get with a 10 inch. I'm not sure, yeah, this one probably could go on a smaller one, probably one like this, which is what, maybe 6 inches wide, but it tells you. But this is for a, these are 7 inches from edge to edge, so you need at least a 7-inch board, but I don't think they come 7 inches. It would be, you'd probably get an 8-inch wide board to use that. But they tell you, they give you all the instructions. I would suggest, if you like, or if you're interested in stenciling, go to their Facebook page. Just search in Facebook for Essential Stencil. They have a Facebook page, and they have ambassadors. They have like 5 or 6. Every day someone is on there. One lady, I believe, even lives in Sweden. And every day there's somebody on there showing how to use their stencils, giving you ideas, giving you tips, showing the new stencils as they come out. So for sure, if you enjoy stenciling or you want to learn to stencil, find their Facebook page and follow them. Then also, each ambassador has their own code where you can save 10% off anything you order, every time you order, if you use their code. I told you last week the one I use is metal because METTLE, it's easy for me to remember. I think there's one that is I Restore Stuff, and I don't remember some of the others. But anyway, pick one you like and you enjoy watching, and always get that 10%. Every little bit helps. Now, this, I've done a couple of these. This is the one that says welcome. It has welcome to our, and then it spells porch. And they're a little bit wider. They are 9 inches. So this is, like this one would need a 10-inch board because the board would be 9.5. They fit perfectly on the edges of your board. So you can see right here, your C and your H is on the same sheet. You don't worry about spacing. But you also have the option, and we'll get to stenciling in a few minutes, but you also have the option of just buying the letters. They have five, and these are the big ones, 5-inch letters, and A through Z. I don't think it has, no, it doesn't have any numbers in it. It's all letters. There's 26 of them. You can spell anything you want to. So, but it's about $29 for this set, I believe. But you could spell Faith, you could, you can spell anything you want to. Your last name, but you have that option to purchase these. These stay out of stock a good bit. One thing about them, if something says out of stock, they're real quick to get things back in stock. I checked tonight, and I think everything I'm using tonight is in stock. I didn't check on the brushes, except for on like the welcome, they actually have a set that has 12 different things in it, like a sunflower, but now they're just outlines, like the words are. A sunflower, a football, a leaf. It's to get you through the 12 months to where you could use the O for all that. That's out of stock, but it'll be back in. Okay, Ed, would you set those over there for me and just leave these here? Okay, the first thing we're gonna use, I wanted to go a little bit larger tonight. I purchased this board yesterday at Hobby Lobby. They have their boards, if it's over $5.99, 50% off. So this one, I believe, $14.99. So, and then I got 50% off of that. So, or 40, I forgot. But they're on sale this week. And this is a perfect, it's already got your beads on it. I probably will change out the beads tomorrow because I'm gonna do this in black. And I'm gonna use one of their medium-sized stencils, and it's the Faith stencil. It has Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here, and it is well with my soul. So I wanted to do like a country stencil and use the Amazing Grace. There it is. And see, it's a perfect size for this particular board. So you do not have, when you're stenciling, it's different than when you're using chalk paste. Chalk paste, sometimes you have to do something to the surface. When you're stenciling, you really don't. I mean, just wipe your hands across it. And then you want to center. Now, it doesn't fit in the little grooves exactly, but I still can center it pretty good. And I'm gonna get my tape. This board here is, I have 2 of these on my website. This is kind of the 3-inch letters, I think. But anyway, it's kind of a medium-sized board. I would not have anything larger than this in my Etsy shop because it's too expensive to ship it. Like I don't sell these in the Etsy shop, the big porch leaners. But if you were doing a craft fair, or you were doing a garage sale, or you were gonna be somewhere in person, those would probably be big sellers for you. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of tape my, nope, can't do that. Tape my stencil down, where hopefully it does not move on me. Now this has 2 little green spots, and I'm just going to do everything else in black, and I'm going to have to kind of hold it down up here because it kind of goes above this little lip. You want your stencil flat, and I might as well get a brush that already has some black on it. I'm going to use some acrylic thick body paint. Yeah. And I haven't gotten to where I can do this upside down, y'all. I'll turn it around if you see once I get it done. But I'm going to use some acrylic. You get a piece of paper over here to remember the main word: offload, offload, offload. That's the biggest reason people have bleed with their stencils, is they have too much paint on their brush. Doesn't take a lot of paint. You don't want much paint on your brush at all. And you don't want to act like you're painting. In other words, you don't do this like you were painting a wall. You want to either what they call stipple, which is pounce, or you want to just lightly do swirls. You don't want to do anything to go against the lines to where you get bleeding. But the main thing is you put your paint on there, and then you offload it. When you swirl it and you're offloading, you're actually working that black into your brush so that you don't have so much right on the tip. And when you're first starting, I know it seems like you're wasting a lot of paint, but y'all really and truly, you're not. It doesn't take much. And you want, less is more. Always think less paint, better. Because you can go back over it and make it darker. Once you've got that bleed, I haven't figured out how to fix it very well. So I don't want to do these because I'm going to do them in green. And so I'm just going to kind of hold down my A to keep it from, and I'm just going to slowly, I don't know, I enjoy, you could stipple, pounce, I enjoy the swirl. It's just what I enjoy doing. And you just take your time. Don't get in a hurry. Acrylic paint is not as forgiving as your chalk paste. But it's not hard. I'm not pushing, I'm just lightly. And it's white on white. The stencil's kind of clear and it's a little hard to see my letters, but let's see, I have not loaded any more paint on my brush. It's getting to where I'm going to need to. If you have the little spots and you feel like you need to stipple, then you do. All right, I'm going to go back here where I offloaded and pick up some more black paint and try to finish out my G. Now the bottom words where it says how sweet the sound, they're small letters, so I probably will stipple those mainly. I do something to keep my paper from wiggling. Tonight I wanted to show you some, some little bit larger pieces. But, you know, if you're brave, start out with the big pieces. If you're not, get you some of the tags and get you the small tag stencils and play with them. But you can practice on paper bags, you can practice on paper. You know, worst case scenario, you sand it off and you paint over it. I didn't paint this, but I could. I could paint it white, or I could sand it and paint it black if I wanted to. But the thicker your paint, the better, which is why I like the paint, the Master's Touch paint from Hobby Lobby. But I have used regular acrylic paint from Walmart also. All right. See, I'm just lightly going back over it, making sure it's pressed down. All right, now I'm going to do the little words. And you can, you know, swirl, pounce, whatever. It just takes a little bit more to get in those little places. You can do a combination. It's just what you get comfortable with. I've watched several people that they don't swirl at all. All they do is the stippling, the pouncing. There's quite a few people that use this swirl. To me, it's faster. And I'm just lightly holding the brush. I am not pushing down I just want it to go through those little letters. I'll get a little more, which that was a lot more. And I'm always scared, okay, I've got this far, and I'm always scared I'll mess up right at the end. But you know, that's the fun of crafting. You know, don't stress over it. have fun. You can always fix it. To me, it's relaxing because I don't put the pressure on myself to be perfect. And it's a lot of fun to pick the stencil up when you're done, and it's like the moment of, is it good? Is it not? You know, did it work? Did I make a mess of it? This is not like your stencils with Magnolia Designs either. You don't have to worry about it drying because this is an opening, doesn't have like the little mesh, the little holes like a transfer has. You know, we tell you with Magnolia Designs you need to work fast. All right, let's see. I'm just checking some of this. And these are usually pretty easy to lay back down if you need to. I'm not going to put my brush in water yet because I don't know. But I still want to go back and do these little leaves in green. So I'm just going to lay it there for a second. Make sure I don't have paint on my hands and touch the board somewhere else. I'm going to get just a little bit of green and use a different brush. The green last night was a moss. Oh, this hadn't been opened. The green I used last night was a moss green. This is a brighter green because I thought that moss green, it wasn't on this one, was it? Well, yeah, but it's on white. I didn't think it stood out enough. I don't want to use that brush because that's the free one. Does it have a little thing on it? Okay. And I think this is probably from, it's folk art, so it's either Walmart or Hobby Lobby. And it's just acrylic. You sure it didn't have a?
I didn't see one.
Oh, there it comes. It's a little bit brighter, and you just need a tad because I've just got two little bitty things here. So I'm going to put, this is more of a Christmas green. I might wish I had gone with the other, but I can go back over it with the darker green. So I'm just going to hold them down. You could leave these off. You wouldn't have to do them. So many of their stencils are so versatile because you don't have to use the whole stencil. You can pick out a word or two and use it. Like you could just do Amazing Grace on something a little smaller and not do anything else. Or just Grace. Sometimes the little corners. Okay, what I'm gonna do, before I take it off totally, and I just put my brush in the green. Before I take it off totally, I'm gonna kind of bend it back. You don't want to slide it, you just want to lift. And see if there's anything that you missed a letter. This one over here is a little bit lighter. Then I'm just going to lay it back down and just hit this just a little bit more. It was a little lighter green than the other one. You could put a bow on this. You can change these beads. I don't know, I may put some black and white beads on there. Okay. Well, no, let me turn this around so you can see it. Can you see that? Now I'm going to show you how you clean these stencils. And if you clean them right after you've used them, you don't have to use anything else. If you wait And black is a little harder. It might stain just a little bit. This is just a damp rag, nothing on it. And I'm just gonna wipe it off.
Brenda says it's beautiful.
I like it. And I think I like that green. But you could put a bow on it. I just this week got in my beads that I ordered that were black and white. So I think I probably will put some beads on it before I put it in the shop. You just want to be careful when there's little bitty things. You don't want to bust your plastic. But these clean up so easy. Now, if I was to leave it for several hours, you can just take some spray that you can buy from Dollar General. It's called Awesome. And spray a little on it, and it'll be good.
Karen Hunter says she likes that. It's lovely.
Thanks, Karen. I've done a lot of home decor using regular stencils. And like I said, these, I don't know if you can tell how thick these are, but I mean, these are thick, and they're gonna last me forever. And what's so nice, y'all, if you can find boards like this on sale at Hobby Lobby and pick them up throughout the year, then come Christmas time, you can make all your gifts. You just get one set of stencils. And Essential Stencil has a lot, and I mean a lot, of inspirational, spiritual stencils. All right, that's not perfect, but it's good enough. Ed, if you'll just lay it over there. All right. Okay. So I think I probably will change the beads out, but I mean, I probably have, I mean, I don't know, what is $15 with, so it'd be about $6 off of it. So what did I do, maybe $7, $8? Probably about $8 invested in it. And it's a nice big sign, heavy, sturdy, and I didn't have to paint, I didn't have to do any of this.
Karen Hunter says ordered from them and it will be here Monday.
Oh, good. I want to see some pictures. Okay, that's that one. Now, I don't need my black. Don't need my green. Okay, put your brushes in water. And they also have YouTube videos of how to clean your brushes, but you just put them in water and swirl them, and I take a little bit of Dawn detergent and put in my hand, and then I just let water run in my hand and swirl the brushes, and you just clean them. You can see like some of mine are stained a little bit, but that doesn't matter. It does not hurt the brushes. You do not have to use their brushes, but I will tell you they're awesome. I mean, they usually sell out about as quick as they get them on. You can use a makeup sponge, and just with a makeup sponge you can't do the swirl, you have to do the pouncing. You can use the little sponge pouncers that you can buy that you just want to make sure it's flat. The bristles are not like a regular paintbrush, they're flat. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this piece of paper because what I'm going to do next, I'm going to use white. I was walking around Hobby Lobby yesterday. Ed had a doctor's appointment. He just dropped me off at Hobby Lobby. And I told him, because last week I went with him and sat in a car for almost 3 hours. So this week I said, okay, I'll go with you, but you drop me off at Hobby Lobby. I can spend 3 hours in Hobby Lobby if I have to, easy. And I had a list of different things that I wanted to get. Well, y'all, no joke. I found myself just walking around in Hobby Lobby, and I'd already bought and found everything I wanted, and I thought, you need to get out of here. My buggy was full. He still had not called me that he was done. And I thought, and now I'm just looking and thinking, oh, that's cute, and it's like, nope, stop. But anyway, I came across, I always like to find different and unusual things because I like to show y'all different stuff. I came across these in Hobby Lobby. They're back with the chalkboards, and they are Chalkboard Placemats. I had no idea. There's only 2 in a pack, and they're $6.99. Now, the chalkboards were 50% off, so I figured this was too, but I got it to check out and it wasn't. You know, they get you like that sometimes, but I wanted them anyway because I wanted to experiment. And I was hoping they were double-sided, but I opened them and they're not, it's just one side. Y'all, I didn't know they made placemats, chalkboard placemats. So I want to experiment. I was going to do the whole thing in chalk paste, let it sit till Tuesday, and then see if I could wash it off. But then I thought, no, because this is not really, I was afraid it would bleed. So I am going to do the words tonight with the acrylic, not the black. I'm going to use white acrylic paint. And then sometime next week, I'm going to go back and get my white chalk paint and use a pouncer and just do the wreath. So that way I know next week I'm going to see if this could be erased and reused, you know. So I chose to do this one that's called Grateful Heart. It's just a 2-pack, and they are 12 by 12. So you always want to know what your stencils are, so when you go looking for your wood, or get somebody to cut you some wood. But these are 12 by 12, and it has grateful, thankful, blessed, and then it has start each day with a grateful heart. And I thought that would be perfect for a placemat. So I'm going to do it on this one. If I can figure out where the opening is. Because I've used both of these before. But you could put anything you wanted to. You could. They also sell stencils. You can go on down if you need to. They also sell stencils that are small, like the Ray Dunn skinny font, that you can use for anything. And you could. They have one stencil that's like a wreath that has the line in the middle for you to personalize it. I haven't played a whole lot with that yet. I can't draw a straight line. Have trouble getting things in a straight line. So I'm just gonna, it's not exact, well, it's pretty darn close to being exactly the height. So I just need to get it centered this way. And I'm just gonna eyeball it. That looks close enough to me. And then I'm gonna tape here too to remind me that I don't wanna do those. So I'm going to bring this out next week. We're going to go back to some flowers, but and some wreaths. But I want to bring this out next Tuesday because I'm going to be real curious if these placemats will let you take it off. Sorry, y'all. I'm just used to using my teeth. Forgot where I was. Okay. So I don't want to do these. I was going to do them in green, and then right before I came live, I thought, no, I want to, after the live, I'm going to go back, after this dries, put these down and just do these in chalk paste and see, because I'll have two different things. And same thing, it's the thick body acrylic, Master's Touch. And y'all, these are a little expensive, but don't buy them unless they're half price. They go half price like every other week. Like this one's $19.99, but it's $9.99 when it's half price. And you see, I've used it a lot. In fact, this is probably what I used on this board, and this one too. So, how many of these boards did I make? 3, 4? So, I mean, it'll last you a long time. Okay, I'm gonna get my paper to offload. Remember, always offload, offload, offload.
Karen says your key for your built-in Susan.
Yeah. Oh well, what do we do when we can't get things opened? Okay, so I'm gonna put it in there, get a good bit of paint on it, and then I'm just gonna swirl. Work it up into my brush, and then offload. And these are kind of small, so I don't know. Let's see. I'll have to decide if I want to. I may do the first coat, the swirl, And then I may come back and like stipple. I don't even know why it's called stippling. I would call it pouncing, dabbing. And it doesn't take long at all, y'all. I haven't got brave enough to try several colors with the same stencil yet. Karen, if you don't mind, can you tell me what you ordered? If you don't want to, that's okay. But I'm just curious what you chose that you wanted to work with. And they have pretty fast shipping now that things have cleared up a little bit. They have a Stencil of the Month club also. I just joined that about 3 months ago. The thing that's good about that is watching the ambassadors, they will tell you if you're not a member of the Stencil of the Month, use their code and you actually get half price for that month. You get the Stencil of the Month for half price. You can skip a month. It's just a great company. And like I said, I don't get anything for talking about them and promoting them. I just love their stencils. And they have the Stencil of the Month. They're not available for everybody. You have to be in the Stencil of the Month. You can skip a month. This month it's 3 sheets, plus you got a chance for $10 to get an add-on. But this month, it was a cute stencil, but it was a birthday cake and all the stuff you put on it. And it just wasn't something that I felt like I would use more than once. And so I skipped this month. But 2 months ago or 3 months ago, it was the wreath like this with the line across it to personalize something and a sheet with an alphabet. So it was a good deal. To me, it's just quicker. Now it was not Essential Stencil, it was a different stencil I ordered from somewhere else. I didn't know about the swirling because I had not found Essential Stencil and their ladies. And I tried to do the whole thing and it was a horse doing the stippling. And I didn't know that you got to wait for it to dry because if you're pouncing, you're just picking up the paint and bringing it up.
Karen said 4th of July mini tags, Christmas nativity scene, Easter mini sign, and ears written, and wooden tags.
Good. You'll have fun. I have 2 of the sets of the 4th of July, so that's probably going to be a giveaway down the road a little bit. But anyway, the first one I tried I wasn't real happy with because, of course it was a different texture, but you could tell that I had pulled the paint and it just looked like drops of rain.
Julie Rubottom.
Hey Julie. Julie's a neighbor. What time is it? Okay. This is our last craft. So, and like I said, I've never done it on one of these placemats. We'll see. But that's what I'm here for, is to experiment with stuff and tell you what I like and what I don't. Crafting is an individual thing. I have my favorite wreaths. There's some I don't like and I still haven't done them. It's an individual thing. Okay, now I'm not sure. Remember, I'm not going to do the wreath. I'm going to wait and do that with chalk paste and see. I am going to, remember, you don't just pull it up. You hold one side of it down, and then you just lift and look. I don't know, Ed. Should I go over the start each day? Y'all going to get to see Ed? No, he's going to stay out of it.
Yeah.
Does that, to me, it doesn't look dark enough.
I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm going to put it back down, and I'm going to go over that part. Put a little bit more paint. Not too much. when it dried, this looked a little, I wanted it brighter. Now, another hint, I don't know if you know this or not. Anytime you want something to pop with color, and it be, like if I wanted really to do this in yellow, I do it in white first. Then you do the yellow on top of that when it's totally dry. The white underneath it makes the yellow pop. And it's the same way, the reason I usually paint all my little three-tiered things, I usually paint them white before I put a napkin on them, because the napkin's kind of clear, you know, and it's going to pick up the color from behind. So that's just a little tip that I learned somewhere, probably from one of the ambassadors at Stencil. You put down your first layer as white, and then you put another layer over the top of it, especially when it's like a light color like yellow or mint green or a light blue. It will cause, and there's such a thing as shadowing. I mean, you can get real creative. I can let this dry, put it back down, and actually move it just a tad to the right and down, put a different color on it, and you'll see the white shadow on the words. I haven't tried that yet either. I try to keep it simple. But I'm telling you, I keep checking my hands, because one of the very first things that I used the Magnolia design inks, I think it was a dish towel. I had red paint on my hand, and where I held it to look at it, yeah, that looks much better. Okay, there's our placemat. These would be great if they were, you know, to me it's a little expensive, so that means this placemat was $3.50, and if they didn't put them on sale with their chalkboard stuff. But anyway, it would be great if it was double-sided. You could do one side holiday, but the one I saw, where did I see? I think it's on the front page of the thing. It said, it was more the one that said like Thanksgiving, to set your Thanksgiving table. Grateful, thankful, grateful, blessed. Okay. Let me just scoot that right there. Don't want to get any. And I'll, yeah.
Brenda Bracken said that would be great gifts.
Yeah, it would. And I'm going to be real curious after leaving it set for a week to see if I'm going to be able to come back and if it'll wash off. Now see, that looks like it's got a little bit of white right there. Came off like that, so we'll see. But then I'm just going to take a damp rag and clean my stencil. I wouldn't have to. I could leave it till tomorrow and use some of the Awesome Spray from Dollar General, and the paint would come right off. Now, black sometimes does also stain the stencil, but it doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't actually stain, you know, the stencil, because they're holes. They're not like the webbing and the mesh in the Magnolia. Now, I love Magnolia. Don't get me wrong. And Magnolia is probably easier because you just put it on and scrape. This you kind of have to be a little careful not to get bleed. But it's a lot of fun once you start doing it. Okay. So probably what I'll do with these two stencils when I get done here is I'll just run some water over them and wipe them down. I mean, you could put things on the sides of these. You could spell names on them. I didn't know they made such a thing as chalkboard placemats, but they're cute, they're cool. So I will probably tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to take some green or white, whatever I got, chalk paste and put on here with this. And then say, supposedly your acrylic is supposed to be permanent. Now I do have some ink. I probably, if I was making these as gifts, that's a food safe ink, and that's probably what I would do on a particular thing like this, or any kind of cup. Now Magnolia Design says their ink is fine. You heat set it, and then there's no way, even if somebody gets their mouth on it, it's not going to come off. But I don't think I'd want to like spray this with a sealer. That was one thing I learned with the porch cleaners. You've got to make sure that they're good and dry before you go over it with the poly sealer. And chalk paste does not do real well, because Pam and Creighton, I made them one to where the O was a paw print, and I did it 2 colors. It was blue, because that's their school colors, blue and white. And the blue, I didn't have any acrylic paint, so I used chalk paint. Well, when I went to put the wet coating on it, it smeared the blue chalk paste, because that's what it's known for. It'll wipe off. So I had to sand that over and redo it. So anyway, okay, that's basically our 2 projects for tonight. The placemat and then this sign. Probably I will pull these out and paint some of these white. I may paint some of them solid black. And then I had ordered some black and, they're bigger than this though. Might not look right. I may just do all of them, the black and white buffalo plaid. So anyway, so I'll probably put that one on my Etsy shop. This one we're just gonna have fun and play with. And I'll show it to you next week, and we'll see what washes off and what doesn't. But that's all I have for you tonight. I hope y'all have a great weekend. Stay safe. Prayers are with all those in Alabama, and I think Georgia. I don't think Mississippi got it quite as bad, but Alabama got it pretty bad, and I think they're supposed to get some bad ones Sunday also. Now it missed my mom and them because it was north of them, so that's good. But anyway, a lot of people had their homes totally destroyed, so just remember them in your prayers. And y'all have a great weekend, and if you have any questions, put them on here. If you happen not to see that little red live button, it means you're watching the replay.
Tennessee got it too.
Did they?
Brenda said.
Brenda, did you have it bad at your house? I didn't hear her say anything on Facebook about it being too bad, so I hope not. If you're watching the replay, you still can be eligible for the gifts that I give away every week. And if you missed it, this is what the gift will be. A brush, a tag, which you do it 2-sided, and they stand alone this way or this way. And you'll get your choice of one of these tags. And it's He is Risen, and then the Jesus with the cross, and then Amazing Grace. So you'll get your choice of those. I will cut it off about 3 o'clock Tuesday afternoon and start putting names in a bowl. And if your name is in the bowl, then you'll be notified. And Tracy, that won the ring board, she did notify me, Tuesday evening or Wednesday. So that went out in the mail to her today. Yeah.
Brenda Bracken said about 15 minutes away from her got it pretty bad.
Oh gosh, that's scary. You know, somebody was telling me yesterday, I think, where it used to think of Tornado Alley as like right up through Oklahoma. It's like it's shifted a little bit, you know. But yeah. Brenda, you do know we lived pretty close to where you live years ago. Right before we moved to Texas, we lived in Lawrenceburg for a while. What was the name of the little bitty place? New Prospect is where we first moved to.
St. Joe.
St. Joe is where we moved after Lawrenceburg. It's all right there kind of together. So it's a pretty area. Okay, well, I'm going to say good night. Y'all have a good weekend and God bless. See you Tuesday. Bye.